Welcome to Craig Back Show.
Katie Black Show. This is an episode that's exclusively going to be found on YouTube. What's up? I have a reoccurring guest from the podcast, the Hall Monitor of the Universe.
Hi.
What's poppin'?
You know, girl, just living the dream.
I feel it.
Moment to moment.
How's Texas?
Every day I want to escape, and then I check my bank account and I'm like, well, bitch, how are you gonna escape? So I'm stuck in Central Texas, and that's okay, I guess. I mean, it is what it is, right? What am I can't fight it.
Well, what's up with, I've always wondered, like, when everyone's like, oh, everything's bigger in Texas, like, is that true?
Like, size-wise of people, yes. I don't want to say anything offensive, but yes, like I actually argued with a coworker the other day. I was like, oh, California has way better food selections. And she's like, no. And I'm like, yes, health-wise, yes. Like, I remember any of my apartments in California, you would have to drive far to get to like a Taco Bell or like it was hard to get fast food on the way home. Girl, here it's like, what do you want? Raising Cane's, McDonald's, Burger King, it's all in a line. Girl, Chick-fil-A, whatever you want. Did I tell you I weighed myself and I was 200 pounds? I think I put it on my TikTok.
I did see that, but I mean, so many things to dissect because, I don't know, just because I have been obsessive with the scale for like the last probably, I'm like, who was president when I started weighing myself?
That's how we're like telling time now.
I mean, like for at least 12 years, and just in the last year, I've tried to like wean myself off of it because it was like disturbing my mental stability. But, you know, yeah, what's your story with the scale?
Well, I don't do the scale. So like, I think it was almost a detriment. Like, I think not doing the scale mixed with having a uniform at my work that's like oversized because I picked it to be oversized, mixed with not wearing any normal clothes anymore because of the pandemic, always wearing sweats, got me to 200 pounds. Like when I got on the scale, I was shocked. I started laughing because I've just never, for me, myself, I had never seen that before. And yes, I'm 6 foot, so I'm tall. But at the same time, I knew something was up because I pulled out a pair of jeans. I was like, oh, I'm gonna wear these to work. These are super cute. I forgot about these. I couldn't button them. And I was like, oh my God, these are like my jeans that have always fit, you know? Plus, I just turned 40. So I got to give myself a little bit of a break. Like, it is what it is. I've corrected. I'm on like full week 2, I think, not eating fast food, trying not to eat anything like sweets. Like, I was eating crazy stuff, girl. I was like, Raising Cane's, donuts at night, like just full of fast food. So, yes, the people in Texas are bigger. That's like the long-winded version. And I'm one of them.
But you don't look at, like,
No, I pull it off okay. I gotta say, like, we took a group picture at work for an event, and I was like, do not tag me in that. Do not post that. It's not going on my wall. Like, I can control the narrative from here up, but like I'm just like Humpty Dumpty in the middle, you know? So, and then ostrich legs.
I feel like you look great.
Thank you, baby.
I feel like you look great. How do you feel like now week 2 of like eating clean or whatever?
I feel better. I'm sleeping better. I'm not being like 100% great about it. Like last night I had a bowl of cereal before bed, but it's better than eating like donuts. Like I'm not going to lie and say I've been like so great at it, but I haven't touched fast food. I'm not like deep frying anything in the house. Like I used to we used to have like Mexican night and I'd like deep fry my shells and do this whole thing and then just feel like a fucking terrible person on the couch watching Housewives. But now I just watch it screaming because I'm like alert because I'm not in a food coma. So
that's so funny. Well, I'm gonna get into Housewives in a second, but this is like I have found with like my eating weird issues, and again, who knows, like when I post this I could change, but I feel like mentally right now I feel like I do better when it's like, which is so annoying, but everything in moderation. I feel like when I've done things
totally
no carbs or like no whatever, then eventually like I go nuts.
Well, you want that stuff. I think totally with moderation. Mariah Carey used to say, I love Mariah. She used to say, I'm on the morsel diet. I just have a morsel of this and a morsel of that. And that to me makes sense. It's like I eat like a lean cuisine. I know they're loaded with sodium, everyone. Whatever. It's 350 calories. Get over it. And then I just sit and pray for 20 minutes that the hunger goes away. And it does. So
Flavored water helps too, even though there's like probably chemicals in that shit too. I don't know.
my mom does that. She's doing the flavored water. I am such an avid water drinker. I have been putting lemon in my water, so I guess that's flavored and it does help. But I have this. I carry it everywhere, and I drink at least 2 of these a day. If I'm on a diet or not on a diet. Like I've always just been such a big water drinker. Yeah, that's another thing. Sodas out here are like, you get like this big soda with everything. And I would suck that whole thing down. And I'm not a soda drinker. Like I love a Coke. I'm not saying that. Like maybe on a vacation or something.
Right.
But like I started drinking them all the time. Just like the regular Coke. It's not even the diet. Who cares? Like I wanted regular Coca-Cola.
You know what's so interesting? It's like I wonder like at what point, I mean, I'm sure I could look it up, but at like what point were they like, we're gonna take the cocaine out?
I don't know, but that's so disappointing.
I know.
Like, why not a little? I mean, could you imagine what people were like with the cocaine in the Coca-Cola? Probably getting shit done. I mean, peeing a lot because I'm sure they're drinking it all day long.
Getting shit done. And also, too, another thing, obviously if you guys didn't know, we met through TikTok. Shout out TikTok. But Woo-hoo! I've gone into the algorithm of studying like Adderall addiction.
Yeah.
Did you dance with that, or was that not your thing?
I've done Adderall. I've taken Adderall before, and all it made me do was masturbate until it was over with. So people are like, you can focus on stuff, you can do that. Like it wasn't that for me. No.
That is fabulous. I guess I had to dance with it just because in college it was like, yeah, like get shit done. And then obviously
my sister, yeah.
And then it progressed into, well, you can like party really hard on it. Like, you know what I mean?
Really?
Like, you can like, well, just like a cocaine thing. That's how I viewed it. Like you can stay
okay.
alert and you can drink a lot. And then obviously then there was a phase of like, okay, well now I'm not eating because I'm on this shit. And now I'm drinking a lot. And so now I'm just going to black out as if I wasn't even on it. That was circa, that wrapped up about, I think, 2000.
Well, and doesn't that sound exhausting now? Like,
it's exhausting.
Like if I drank today, I would want to drink on the couch, wine until I get loopy, and then out. I don't want to like chase nothing. I don't want to stay up late. Like, I mean, I don't do it regardless. I've been really good about that. But that's the other thing. I think the weight gain, I think when I was drinking, like how I was drinking in LA and smoking pot, I was really hypersensitive to what I was putting in my body because I knew there was calories in the alcohol and stuff. So you would think you'd be more heavy doing that, but like I was just more sensitive to like that. Like I knew I could only eat this and that. So then when I stopped drinking, I was like,
totally. Well, I think there's some kind of, and maybe I'll like make a Wikipedia page, but there's some connection, I swear to God, with eating and drinking. But I'm sure someone could say that's just a vice that you're switching. But I feel like specifically with those two.
No, bro, the only like halfway through drinking on a drinking night, I start thinking about what I'm eating. Like it's part of the addiction, if you want to call it for that. Like it's just one of the layers to like because I mean we can't sit there. We're not addicted to food. Of course we're addicted to food. Right. Like
part of life.
When I would eat McDonald's, the next day I would wake up and I would mentally want McDonald's again. So like MSG, that is what is in it. Like it addicts us. So like obviously it's part of the whole like fucked up American dream, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, totally. Like
am I too bright? Is this light too
please.
much? Okay.
I need brightness. Absolutely.
Oh. Absolutely. You saw last night's episode?
Absolutely.
Girl, I was shook. I wish I had someone. I don't normally wish I had someone I was watching it with, but last night at the end of the episode, I wish I had someone to at least talk to for like 30 minutes and just like decompress like what happened in the episode.
Okay, so let's just get into it. So and if everyone's like, which one are they talking about? We're talking about Beverly Hills as we
Yep.
record. There was, I'm assuming, part 2 of the Aspen trip.
Or
I don't
part
fucking
2,
know.
Aspen. Yep.
And where do we begin?
Well, so synopsis wise, like we walk into Kyle's Aspen house and it has this huge MAGA flag on the wall. And I know I'm getting shit for all this from both sides, but I'm sorry, when an American flag is the focal point and the whole wall of like a living room, to me that screams MAGA. Okay? I'm sorry. To me that screams we love our guns. To me that screams all these things. So I made a joke. That was a joke, an assumption, okay, that I put on TikTok. Then someone commented and said, you should go see who he follows. So I did the video of who he follows. And I was shocked that Mauricio follows all the Trumps.
Okay, so I'm getting a lot of shit because people don't think that Mauricio and Kyle are MAGA. So we're going to Mauricio's. That was Kyle's. Let's go into his following. Let's put Trump in. See who he's following. Whoops. Oh, look at that. Eric Trump, Ivanka Trump, the real Donald Trump president, and a White House archives of the 45th president, just to show what happened during his presidency. And if you go into people that he is followed by, a bunch of Trump people. So
Kyle has become, I don't know if you agree with this,
The producer.
she has no storyline. So she is full on producing everyone else with herself, and she's becoming a bugaboo. I don't know how else to say it. Like she's not interesting to me anymore.
The most like spark that I've seen her this whole season, and maybe like towards like parts of last season, was when she went off on Erica. That was like the most girth, whatever have you, that I've seen.
What, in this last episode?
Yeah. I mean, do you
Okay,
agree?
no, that's what pepped me up, because I thought, okay, so instigate whatever. Like she instigates all the time, but that was a proper instigation in my mind, because that's more of like coming to the table. And that's kind of what Garcelle's talking about. I think when Garcelle says, you guys leave me out drying, she did exactly what Garcelle was saying that you should do. Like pop in and help me with what I'm saying, because Garcelle is the only voice of reason talking about how crazy it is that everyone is like wiping Erica Jane's ass over this.
Which I just think is so bizarre. I mean, basically what we're talking about, if you don't follow or haven't watched it yet, is everything is kind of, again, like PG, like whatever. Yeah. Except before I get into the Erica fight, what are your thoughts on this like rumor that Dorit and Mauricio have a thing?
I think that's just editing. I don't think Kyle would. Why? I understand it. It's also like the Chris Pine Harry Styles spitting thing. Like I like putting it up, but do I think Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine? Maybe, but he didn't mean to. Like I think cameras are catching things that then is edited to like. So I think that's one of them. Like I just think they're storytelling with like, and then TikTok is now storytelling as well. So like we have the producers, we used to just have them, but now you're able to take these scenes and real people like us can dissect them, and we can now put our own narrative on it, right? So like that's what I think is happening with that.
I can see. I mean, again,
I think Mauricio is probably a dog. Now that I know he's like a Trumper and like has four daughters, it's just shocking to me, the whole thing. So like I could see him totally fucking other people. I could see Kyle knowing though too, and them just knowing that that's what's going on. Dorit, I don't think so though. You think?
I have no opinion, but I mean, obviously I'm psychoanalyzing everything now that I saw that. So that scene where they're talking at dinner. But again, I could be talking to fucking whoever throughout my life if I had a camera, and they would think I'm fucking everybody. It's just I'm just a really nice girl.
I think sometimes though too, in those situations, did you see how many people, this is just from a production standpoint, did you see how many people were mic'd at that table and how loud that room was? I think they were showing what they got on camera the best way. I don't think that was like a ploy to make everyone think that they were talking. I think it was just producing in the sense where they were trying to catch, Erica and Garcelle, because that was the real story that was going on. But then they also have to show you something else going on, like a do-do-do moment, like, oh, look at the chicken sausage. Oh, do-do-do. They always have to have that in like the storytelling itself,
That's fair. I agree. So back to the fight after dinner, or the blow up, whatever, is online, I've heard it for over a year now that I might butcher it, that Erica Jane has these. How expensive are the earrings?
She said in the episode last night there were 1.6 million. Gloating. And that's when Garcelle was like, wait, what? I thought they were only this amount. However much they said was like 800,000 or something.
Yeah, I mean, it was six figures, but still.
So what do you think? I had different feelings about it. What do you think about Garcelle really going for it? I mean, obviously she was going for it because she prefaced us and said that she talked about it on national TV. So she knew that she was going to have to.
Right?
Totally fun. I love it. I love Garcelle. I think whatever she's doing is great. But I also think she knew that she had to like say it to her so she wasn't as shocked on the show, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe there would have been some discussion, but I'm sure the show put everything on fire. But I guess I really enjoyed it because, like I said, so far, that was the hottest episode I've seen yet of the season, right?
Oh, so good.
But, and so basically, they come back and they reiterate, hey, Erica, come over here. This is what we're talking about you giving back the earrings. And I thought that Dana Jenkins, which, by the way, do you see how much, have you seen these things of her licking her lips? Like,
oh, Diana. I don't even want, because I have lip gloss on. I want to take my lip gloss off. But I saw someone that put it up. It was like, how many licks does it take till you get? And they were just like showing her over and over. You know what, though? I've noticed Garcelle does it too. Garcelle will go like a lot. So now I've noticed other people doing it. Well, but nothing like Diane. If you put any of those bitches in an Atlanta scenario, it would be so different. Like, I watch Atlanta, and if I could whoop it up with any group of women, I would be with Atlanta because you don't get in trouble for calling people bitches. They understand humor. They're always ripping each other down, but in a fun way. Like, those are my people. The Beverly Hills, it's like, it takes the whole season. In Atlanta, there's one fight at least every episode. And then it's resolved. And
it's resolved because they're like, hey, we're being 100% real.
But this Beverly Hills is fucking, it took too long to get to this. Too long.
I know. So
there's basically too many cast members is what I think too.
Something. Or like I don't know, but the Erica Jane of them protecting, or even Diana Jenkins was like, and that's why she like donated to the victim. She's like, if everyone's bitching about it or concerned, they should donate money. And it's like, I get that, but it's like, you're still discounting that.
That's a shitty comment. It's a shitty comment. It's taking away from what Erica did or hasn't done and what Erica said on the show. So I want an honest answer from you. What do you think? How do you perceive? Do you think Erica knew? And then to take it a step further, if you didn't think Erica knew, do you think that she should do what like Garcelle and Crystal are saying, like give this shit before you're even supposed to give it? What do you think?
As I like take a big inhale of oxygen. I think that she knew something was up for years. Do I think that she knew the extent of it? No. Right. I think she is kind of obviously seems very gangster. I don't know if that's just how she rolls. That's who she attracts.
She's a bully.
I think she knew something was up. And even too, and again, who knows what's true. But my understanding is there was some kind of lawsuit that she was named in at least 4 years ago. So it's like, maybe you didn't know up until then, but you're involved in a lawsuit 4 years ago. You knew something was weird. Do I think again, do I think that like she was partaking in it? No, I think they barely talked.
But do you think, how asinine is her response to them? I just was laughing at, this was another thing I wish I had someone to talk to. When she was like, we are going to go through the legal process because the legal process is the only thing that is, and that is law. Wait a second. You were married to a lawyer who fucked these people over. Some of them have died, didn't give them money. And he was a lawyer. He was the Aaron Brockovich lawyer. He was that everyone trusted. And you're telling us that we have to be convinced by the law? It's so crazy to me that she doesn't hear herself. And by the way, every time I tag her in something, she always watches my story. So, hey, Erica. You never say anything to me, baby, but I see you, boo-boo. I see you in the inbox, baby. I see you watching.
Wink, wink. I mean, I feel like she knew something was weird. And the whole thing is yeah, she's not responsible for it, but it's like, if your whole career.
But if she knew, isn't she a little responsible for it?
Well, yeah, it's just like aiding and abetting, or like being like, "Hey, I went out to so and so, and someone got shot and murdered, and I didn't do it, but I didn't tell anyone about
Right,
it."
right.
Suspect, I think she knew something was up, and then it's like, I mean, she just sounds like she's in denial, and she just sound like, what is it? What's like the term when someone just grits and bows down or whatever? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I just think
You know,
she's like, obviously she's ready to rumble, totally delusional. And I think they're right last night where it's like everything that you wanted to be a fake Madonna. You wanted to be a fake Madonna. And you
I was
funneled
like,
it.
don't forget your fur, bitch. When she took it off, I was laughing because she had to go back for her fur. Girl, and why did I have never felt bad for Lisa Rinna, not one time on the show. Lisa Rinna bugs the fucking shit out of me. I felt so bad for her last night that she took an edible and then
crashed.
it hit, and then this shit happened. I would hate that. If I took an edible and that kind of stuff happened around me, I would be so bummed because I could feel the pit in my stomach, like just knowing.
Because
But I
everything's
felt
like
bad.
heightened.
And then what's her name? The other girl, Garcelle's friend, she didn't say a word because she's probably so high. She's just like, she
It looks
didn't even like know
she's
what was
watching
going
it
on.
just like us.
Totally. But Kyle coming for Erica, I was like, thank God. It was very Lisa Vanderpump in the house with Ken. Like, it was very much like, but then I think, so Kyle, you're worried about, then I go back to this, like, Kyle, you're worried about these victims, yet you're voting for Donald Trump, allegedly, who is taking away abortion rights, and you have 4 daughters. So whose side, are you really a good person, or are you trying to make a scene here? Give him that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
How about Kathy with the corn, girl? She's like, just put it on.
She makes me like, I mean, I understand there's like some weird rumors that like maybe she like said some things off mic that
She's racist, homophobic. I know that everyone on that show everyone is racist. Okay, like they're trying. I don't think.
Really?
I think you don't think a little bit.
I guess I'm just delusional.
Maybe
I
I'm
guess
wrong. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. But her for sure. I do think her coming from where she's come from, she has issues. I still love her on TV. I think she's great. And I do think, even in the preview of what's happening next weekend, when she's like when Lisa takes the shot of like Kylie Jenner tequila or whatever, and then Kathy leaves because, not supporting, I started thinking, I'm like, she's acting like a kid. Totally, Kathy is. But that's what happens when you put her in the fucking kids' room of your house with bunks. You start acting like a child. Like, I was shocked. If my sister invited me to her Aspen house, girl, and she's like, you're going to be in the bunks, bitch, I'd be out of there. Wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, if I had nowhere else to go,
When Erica Jane has a fucking her own room, when Dorit, I'm sorry, baby, she's using that robbery as any excuse to get out of whatever she wants, girl. She's like, I'm gonna go stay in the hotel, girl. I don't feel safe. I don't know. Dorit, her lips just keep getting bigger and bigger too, girl.
Oh my God, I know. Well, I think they all kind of like. I want to see like a picture of all of their like. But hey, no one can be worse. Well, before I go on to the Kardashians real quick, basically, bottom line, what do you think about Erica? You think she knew? You think she didn't know? You think she turned her head?
I think whether or not she knew or didn't know, I think the way she's acting is appalling. And I think what Kyle's saying, even though I don't like Kyle, is absolutely true. Say something and stop acting like the stuff that Erica said last night, she should be canceled for, because she pretty much said, I don't give a fuck about these people in this accident. I don't give a fuck that they didn't get money. I don't give a fuck. All I care about is me. Almost verbatim what she said. I was shocked. It was like she was reading a script for the evil queen. I am a little pissed Rinna took her out of there. I would have loved to have seen.
See, why do you think that, like, I guess specifically Rinna, I feel like my read of that is like she's so overprotective of her, and I don't really understand why.
Well, and there's still, like, even recently when she got served those papers at like LAX, Erica, when she got off the plane, Rinna was with her and they weren't filming anything. So obviously they're super, super close for whatever reason. I don't know why. But Rinna also has scrubbed all of her shit from Beverly Hills off of her Instagram.
And so what's your theory?
She's obviously done. I mean, we're about to see what happened, like through, I don't know, all the stuff that's going on. They're saying that she hired bots to attack. I mean, who knows what's going on, girl? It's out of control.
I think she's out of control.
Totally. She's gotten she's turned into a different person on the show. right?
Totally. What do you think about how well, I don't know. I want to go. I want to leave Beverly Hills, but basically, I think that I guess my read is that like she was well aware that something was up, and I think that they kind of she had an agreement with him that she went on the show to put out into the public how successful her husband was, which I feel like could have attracted more clients.
This is for Lisa and Harry.
Well, too, but no, I mean Erica Jane of like I think that like
I gotcha.
Erica went on kind of under the agreement like let's because I mean I didn't know who her fucking husband was. I didn't know who she like you know what I mean? I think that like before all these lawsuits were filed, I think that like the whole shtick could have been like let's funnel money more into the company because we know shit's not doing well. And so let's use this TV opportunity to do that, but then it's like maybe that it wasn't that calculated, but I think it was calculated at least from her husband's point. But that's a really crazy rabbit hole. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, and I think Erica at some point because he has dementia now and shit like that, so he's obviously losing his mind, and then like obviously having all these like these affairs. So obviously there's a lot of shit we didn't even know that was going on, what was going on, and she knew, and she just was like complicit in it all, you know? So like if she's complicit in that, I think Erica is a smart bitch, and I think she knows. And the reason I think that is because she came from nothing. And people that come from nothing and become wealthy will protect themselves and their money at all costs because they don't want to go back to what they were. But I always say, you know what? At the end of the day, when people get pissed at me for talking about celebrities, for saying this, why do you care? Because these people make money. They hoard money. And there's a lot of people down here that are starving and attempting. And I've been around these people and I know how they act and I know how they are. And I don't know, it just bugs me because it's like everyone should be talking shit. Everyone should be knowing, you should know who these people are voting for because we're tuning in every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel different now knowing that Mauricio follows all the Trump people. It's just shocking to me because I'm just like, I've loved this family for so long. And now I'm like, I don't know. I just think, I don't know. I'm tangenting now. I'm tangenting, girl.
That's
Reel
fine.
me back in.
That's fine. That's fine. That's what it's all here for. But I mean, yeah. I mean,
I think Erica Jane knows. I think she's smart enough to know. I think Diana Jenkins doesn't know shit how to produce herself. She's out. She's done. I think Lisa, I think all of them are fucking producing themselves. I don't think there's any producing going on in that show anymore by producers. I think that's not a good thing because it gets stale and boring as fuck. Like you need people in there starting shit, not all of them. Like if you would have told me that I was going to be on Sutton Strack's like side,
right.
You would have thought, but they're bullying her. Like they are being fucking mean to her. And it is double standards with everything that they're saying. And she made such a good point with the cunt thing. Such a good point. Because she's like, why was that okay? But I don't know. They're all fucking.
And then I guess the whole thing is like, they're like, I don't know. I just feel like obviously there's some kind of loyalty amongst the cast to Erica, which I'm like, what has she done? Is it just that like she's so like the only like sexual liberating one? Like I wonder.
No, what if they're all kind of involved in stuff?
That's rumors I've heard.
What if they gave money?
Well, the rumor is that allegedly, I'll have this episode called Allegedly, that
everything.
That she funneled, Erica Jane gave money to Lisa Rinna's lip line and maybe some things Kyle was involved.
Why wouldn't they? Because if they're friends, they'd help each other out if they want to promote the stuff, So it's like, that makes me wonder because they are and then it makes a good point. That's why Lisa got her out of there too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if she's involved some way, somehow with money wise, then they don't want them to figure that out,
Well, dude, I'm going to have breaking news, changing gears completely. Did you just get it on your phone?
No. What happened?